There you go. Because I remember you.
And she won.
You had said before.
What if I told you that the woman with the most awarded voice in music history, the artist who sold over 200 million records worldwide, the singer who made I Will Always Love You an eternal anthem, was once told she wasn't black enough for R&B and wasn't white enough for pop? Whitney Houston didn't just break barriers. She shattered them with a voice so powerful it could make angels weep. But behind that radiant smile and those record-breaking vocals was a story of triumph, tragedy, and a fall from grace that still haunts us today. This is the untold story of how a girl from Newark became a legend, and how that same legend lost everything. Born on August 9th, 1963 in Newark, New Jersey, Whitney Elizabeth Houston didn't just stumble into greatness, she was born into it. Music wasn't just in her home, it was her home. Her mother, Cissy Houston, was a gospel singer who performed with legends like Aretha Franklin and Elvis Presley. Her cousin was the iconic Dionne Warwick. Imagine growing up where your family gatherings sounded like a concert at the Apollo Theater. By age 11, Whitney was already singing solos in church, and people would stop mid-prayer just to listen. But here's what most people don't know. Before music claimed her completely, Whitney was a successful teen model, gracing the pages of 17 magazine. She had options. She could have chosen the runway, but destiny had other plans. At just 19, while singing backup for her mother at a nightclub, Whitney caught the attention of Clive Davis, the legendary music executive who discovered Janis Joplin and Bruce Springsteen. He didn't just hear talent, he heard a once-in-a-generation phenomenon. Davis reportedly said, "She has it all, the voice, the look, the presence." He signed her immediately, and together, they crafted what would become one of the most explosive debuts in music history. In 1985, Whitney released her self-titled debut album. And let me be clear, this wasn't just a successful album. This was a cultural earthquake. Saving All My Love for You, How Will I Know, and Greatest Love of All dominated the airwaves. The album spent 14 weeks at #1 on the Billboard 200. She became the first woman to debut at #1. But more than the numbers, it was the voice. That voice could whisper vulnerability in one breath and unleash thunder in the next. Her second album, even bigger, I Wanna Dance with Somebody, became the soundtrack to the 80s. By 1992, the Bodyguard soundtrack, featuring I Will Always Love You, became the best-selling soundtrack of all time. Whitney wasn't just winning, she was rewriting the rules. But here's where the story takes a darker turn. Success came with a price and a vicious backlash. Critics, particularly within the Black community, accused Whitney of selling out. They said her music was too pop, too polished, too white. At the 1989 Soul Train Awards, she was reportedly booed. Imagine that. You're at the peak of your career, and your own people reject you. Whitney later admitted those wounds cut deep, saying it made her question her identity and her place in the world. Enter Bobby Brown. In 1992, Whitney married the bad boy of R&B, and what seemed like a fairy tale quickly became a nightmare played out in the tabloids. Bobby brought a wildness into Whitney's structured, polished world. Friends and family warned her, but she was in love. Or maybe she was searching for something real in a life that felt increasingly manufactured. Their relationship became synonymous with chaos. Stories of drug abuse, domestic violence, and explosive fights became public knowledge. In a now infamous 2002 interview with Diane Sawyer, Whitney defensively declared, "Crack is cheap. I make too much money to ever smoke crack. Let's get that straight, okay? We don't do crack. We don't do that. Crack is whack." But the damage was done. The world watched as the woman with the golden voice crumbled under the weight of addiction and a toxic marriage. By 2007, Whitney and Bobby divorced. She admitted the relationship had consumed her, saying Bobby was her drug of choice. But even after leaving him, Whitney couldn't escape the demons. Her voice, the instrument that made her a legend, was damaged. Performances became painful to watch. The effortless runs and soaring high notes were replaced with strained attempts and missed cues. On February 11, 2012, the world stopped. Whitney Houston was found dead in a bathtub at the Beverly Hilton Hotel the night before the Grammys. She was only 48 years old. The cause? Accidental drowning, with heart disease and cocaine use as contributing factors. The voice that once lifted millions had been silenced. But here's the thing about legends. They never truly die. Whitney's influence is everywhere. Beyoncé has called her the greatest vocalist of all time. Mariah Carey, Ariana Grande, Jennifer Hudson, Alicia Keys. They all cite Whitney as their inspiration. When Adele performs, you hear Whitney's influence. When any singer attempts a powerful ballad, they're walking a path Whitney paved. Her legacy isn't just in awards or record sales. Though she has 6 Grammys, 30 Billboard Music Awards, and 22 American Music Awards, her legacy is in how she made us feel. She taught us that a voice could be an instrument of pure emotion, that a song could heal, inspire, and transcend race, class, and generation. Whitney Houston showed us what greatness looks like, but she also showed us its cost. She reminds us that even the brightest stars can fall, and that behind every perfect performance is a human being fighting battles we may never understand. So the next time you hear "I Will Always Love You," remember, you're not just hearing a song. You're hearing the voice of a woman who gave everything to her art, even when it cost her everything else. Rest in power, Whitney. The world will always love you. If this story moved you, hit that like button and subscribe for more untold stories of music's greatest legends. Drop a comment below. What's your favorite Whitney Houston song? Let's keep her memory alive.